Welcome everybody to session 2 of our Dungeons and Dragons campaign in Seregen. I'm the Wombat of Doom, or the Wombat of DM in this case, and let's talk a little bit about what you missed last time, or maybe saw last time, depending on who's turning in, or tuning in. So the group met under the stars and traveled north. They encountered 2 ogres and a dog attack. The dog attack's just a joke. It's happening to Zippo right now. 2 ogres had attacked a group that was traveling north, and the party was too late in saving one of them, but managed to keep the other alive, Cyrus. And they traveled north, paid the toll at the bridge, and got to the town of Jewel, where they ensued in some shenanigans, but basically got Cyrus to a place that might be able to save his life. And that's where he is right now, the barracks in town. The group had just met up in the town center. It's still nighttime. But Zippo and Jordan have managed to secure lodgings for the night for the group. And that's where we can pick up for today.
Okay, so when we all get together, Zippo will walk up to everybody, and he'll walk up to Ulrich. Ulrich, yeah. He'll walk. I wanted to say Ulrich so bad.
Yeah.
So did he.
I went up to Ulrich.
I could feel you were gonna say it, so I just put it in there. It's Ulrich, yeah.
I went up to Ulrich. I go up to Ulrich and Amadeus, and I'm like, or Roger. I went up to them to like, hey, you guys don't mind sharing a room, right? They only had 4 rooms, so I figured you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that's
I mean, they got 2 beds, yeah.
I think it's got 1 bed.
All right, well,
I didn't go into the rooms.
Roger, I like to be the little spoon. That's just something I want to put up front.
I will take the floor.
All right.
Me and Jordan are sharing a room, and then the other 2, I didn't know if you 2 knew each other well enough to share a room, so I went on and got you 2 separate rooms.
I'm fine.
Okay, then yeah, we could go back to the tavern and sleep in if we all want to.
I will say that Ulrich kind of like elbows Jordan and says, "See, now that's how you get your own bed. You just say you want to be a little spoon. They'll just voluntarily sleep on the floor."
Jordan laughs and says, well, you know, when you have magic, things kind of are a little bit easier. You don't have to resort to such trickery. Plus, he's a kobold. He could sleep at the end of the bed and be fine.
I could just take up one pillow.
I'd like to clarify that I'm an elf. We don't sleep.
Yeah, I know, Roger. You rub it in my face every time we're out venturing together. You know, you go on your little trance, and I gotta sleep for 8 hours, but you still gotta hang out for about 8 hours or so before you're real 100%. I've woken up, seen you just sitting around.
Come to think of it, I do think you've managed to say every night that you don't have to sleep.
Yeah, I feel like that's just something you're super proud of, and I'm not really sure why. It doesn't give you much of an advantage.
Humble brag much?
It's the half-elf version of being a vegan. You're always going to know it within the first 5 minutes.
I'm an elf. All we do is humble brag.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I didn't know. Now, I'm expecting him to say he doesn't need to eat at this point, but I did get us complimentary meals included in our rooms for in the morning.
Well, hot damn. All right.
Excellent.
Well, hopefully hot something.
Well, yeah.
I hope it is hot potatoes. I feel potatoes are one tasty to build character with their simplicity. What are we going to eat? What
Shall
did you
we turn in for the night then?
I don't know if little guy knows.
And yeah, you see that it's well past sunset at this point. The center of town still has people coming here and there. It's not the middle of the night, but it's getting to the point where most people aren't out wandering around. There's some of the there's a town's guard that just like they were standing in front of the barracks. There's one out in front of the mayor's house, which is that large building in the where B is. So he's not at B, but like that large building there is the mayor's house, which doubles as city hall. You see the clock face god's symbol, and the clock tower is actually lit up at night, and you see that there are people up there also standing watch. So it looks like the clock tower also doubles as a city watch, which is also a play on words. I have to point that out. It's a town watch and it's the clock tower. Sorry, I had to.
Okay, that's pretty good. Now, did you say heirs house or mayor's?
Mayor's.
That makes
I know none of
So
the shops
it-
are going to be open, so
Yeah, the shops are more than likely closed at this point in time. There might be some shops that are open. You can look around if you want, or you can go to bed and check out in the morning.
Roger is in favor of going to bed and checking it out.
I thought he didn't sleep.
I said go to bed, not go to sleep.
I know. Had to be that guy.
Yeah, I'll go to bed. You go to floor. We'll get it done. See y'all in the morning.
I'll go to pillow.
fellows.
All right, so you each split up into your rooms for the night. The doors are even lockable. They're modest rooms. They are only one bed, but there's chests to keep your items. There's ample space if somebody was to take the floor and somebody to take the bed for two people to sleep there. Yeah, so they're modestly furnished, so there's nothing like too fancy. And there's on each floor there's a washroom for you to wash. The outhouse is outside.
After Ulrich and Roger settle into the room and get ready for sleep, Roger's gonna both lock and barricade the door.
What are you barricading it with?
You said there were chests for
Mhm.
your stuff. I'm gonna push one of those in front of the door.
Okay.
Yarvik's
Good
not real.
idea.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying good idea.
I was just saying Yarvik's not real keen on sleeping inside, so he's just gonna grab a couple of chairs, face them to each other, and get to set up. And if the room has a window, just kind of keep an eye out on the goings on, and just kind of whenever he passes out, he passes out.
Anybody else doing anything? Or is everybody good? All right. So you guys go sleep and wake up the next morning. Nothing. The inn has not burned down. The day has started. The stars are not falling out of the sky or anything like that. Rocks haven't fallen. Everybody's good. So it's a good day. When you wake up and go downstairs for your complimentary breakfast, the breakfast is stewed porridge and acorn bread with your choice of drink between water and some sort of beet juice. And that's where I'll leave you to it.
Oh, excellent! Beet juice.
The young man that was there last night and the older gentleman, neither are currently there. It's a woman, and she serves you the meals and seems to be kind of cleaning up after last night's shift. Although it seems like it's all clean, it's all orderly, but she's like putting things back in various positions that are a little bit more tidy to the eye. Like they were in the right spot, but they weren't in the right spot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got that feeling.
All of the handles on the tankards are facing the same way now.
They have
Right.
to be, otherwise it's just. Okay, once we converge, does everybody want to just go to the shops together, or does some people not want to go to certain shops, or how are we doing that?
I think we should probably get those jewels appraised.
Yes. That we should send at least 2 people to, so that we know nobody's getting cheated. And for the rest, I really only need to visit a Fletcher and perhaps stock up on rations.
I'd like to visit the magic shop and look around. I don't remember where they said that we might be able to find mounts at as well.
Yeah, I'm interested in getting mounts too. If we're gonna all be traveling together, maybe it'd just be worth getting a wagon.
Possibly, yeah, that'd be something.
Not the worst case. That'll make hauling any equipment that we may need or acquire.
Yeah, we could. If we get a wagon, we could acquire big like barrels of rations and stuff to hold. That way, nobody would ever run out.
All right. Well,
I think wagons are the classiest of conveyance for sure. Belzian does intend to visit the clock tower at some point. Suggests maybe we could all meet up in town square. Some amount of time has passed, maybe in the afternoon.
Yeah, everybody could meet up there. If you get done with your set things you want to do first, then you can go around there and talk to people, be friendly.
Yeah, let's pick a time. Say 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Sounds reasonable.
that sounds fun.
The warring hour sounds good.
All right, so how are we splitting groups up? Who's going where?
So I heard some people want to go to the appraisal to get the jewelers to get their jewelry appraised. I heard Jaeger wanted to do that, right?
Yeah, I can go along with that. I'm also curious about how our the gentleman that we helped out, our one-armed, our poor unfortunate traveler, kind of want to check on that.
Our half-man friend.
Cyrus, yes. I heard. So who's going to the appraisal shop? I said I heard 2 people wanted to go, or they
Roger will be going to that one.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. That's a good call there. Magic shop. Zippo wanted to go there, correct?
Yep.
Ulrich, did you want to go there too?
No, I think Ulrich's just going to be going to the stables and to check on Cyrus.
Okay. So the menagerie.
Yeah.
And then Cyrus. Okay.
Yeah.
So
After Zippo goes to the magic shop, he'll go to the menagerie as well.
all right. So I'm gonna have Belzian be separate because he's going to the clock tower and also because he's not necessarily available at the moment. I'll probably have him either be last or we'll kind of catch him up in a little bit. Is that fair?
Works for me.
All right. Since we have Zippo wanting to go to the menagerie as well, do you mind, Ulrich, if you accompany him to the magic shop and then you both go to the menagerie?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Or we could do it where we get to the menagerie and then you two split. Since Jaeger was going to visit Cyrus too, we could do it that way.
Yeah, that whatever works. Whatever works the best.
Okay. So, I guess the first thing you'll need to do is figure out where some of these things are. Finding a jeweler in town will, since it's not labeled on the map, you'll need to figure out where a jeweler might be. So, why don't we, Roger and Zippo roll initiative.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go to the we're gonna go to the menagerie first. Does that sound good?
Yep, works for me.
All right. So the menagerie is on the eastern side of town. You pass through the town center and cross down some of the narrower streets, zigging and zagging, until you reach a more open area. The area consists of one main building and then kind of an open area with tents, cages, and other buildings surrounding it. It seems like the area is fenced off, so while it looks open in the map, it's actually fenced, so the only way to go through into that area is through D, the area where D is on the map. You can see a multitude of animals inside, and some caretakers and things like that. There doesn't seem to be too many people wandering around inside at the moment. It is still morning. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, if we walk by the cages, and what kind of animals do we see?
So peering through the fence without having gone in yet, you see that the area seems to be divided into two sections. One seems to be caging singular animals, and then there's like makeshift stables that have different, it looks like pens of animals in plenty. So like there's draft and there's a lot of horses and ponies in there. There's a area where there's dogs either playing with each other or kind of sniffing around or sleeping. And there's some larger horses that are there too, so like pretty big muscular ones that they look like they might be more like work horses and things like that.
If everybody else is ready, I guess we can see if we can get access in.
Yeah, I'm looking for a bell. Maybe I'll just knock or rattle the fence or something.
The area seems to be let in through the long building to the west of that area. So if I bring up, it's right there.
Yep. All right.
I guess I could have done that on my other map too.
Go there, try and find, what appears to be the door that we would knock on, or
yeah.
Person.
So the it looks like there is a kind of a instead of like a door that opens left and right, it's like almost like a dock door, but made out of wood that can be lowered and lifted up. The entrance is actually quite tall, and it actually looks like this building used to be a stable in itself before it was turned into a ticket booth, as well as it looks like there's barding on the left and right, and different equipment for riding animals or caring for animals and whatnot. And there also is one of the pens has a bunch of different variety of stuffed animals, and like there's like little birds, and there's a striped horse, and there's all kinds of different things. Sitting at the first stall is a gentleman who looks slightly surprised to see somebody coming so early, but also kind of thankful to break up the monotony of the morning. And he says, "Are you here to buy some tickets?"
Tickets? No, we're here to buy some livestock and.
To get in, you need to buy a ticket. It's only 1 copper, though.
Yeah, all right. Is there a reason that there's a cost?
Well, this is a menagerie. It's a place that you can look at animals and you can buy animals. But to get in, you need a ticket.
Yeah, that's right. It did hear it was a menagerie. All right. Yeah, here. I got us both covered. You got change for a gold?
Sure.
All right.
know
How
that
about
feeling.
this? How about this? You can keep the gold.
He just is like, he pauses for a second and he says, "Are you sure?"
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you. And he takes the gold and he pockets it instead of putting it in the register.
Now that we're such good friends, I'm hoping you can just kind of give us the lay of the land here. We're looking for, well, we're kind of debating right now about whether we're going to want multiple animals to be riding, or if we just really want to get a wagon. I don't imagine you sell wagons.
Wagons would be in the shipping district, which is up in the northwest area of the city. Close to the East Road. You might have seen it when you came in just to the north of the road.
Yeah, I think I might remember that now. I was a little preoccupied with something else. But all right. So I guess I noticed you had a big old workhorse out there, a couple of them. What would they cost?
I just sell tickets. I don't care for the animals. You'll need to go into the caretakers and talk to them to negotiate a price. Since you paid for a gold, and he gives you a different colored ticket than the tickets he was kind of pawing, and he says, "This ticket will allow you to see any animal you want. It's kind of like a fast pass. If there's anybody else in line, you'll get in front of them."
Oh, well, I don't know if we're gonna be skipping lines. That's not.
Can we?
I'll put you up on my shoulders, buddy. How about that? I don't feel comfortable just skipping by everyone just because I'm rich.
Well, that's the way it works at this place, Mister. But okay.
Well, I'm
just
taking
kind
the
of
ticket. I didn't say I was gonna take it. I just
Yeah,
said
he's
I
like-
don't know if I'm gonna use it like that.
Yeah, he was kind of like not sure whether to give it to you or not. He was kind of like in between. All right. So at this point, would you like to go in, or you want to continue talking to him, or?
Zippo's already like walking through the door, getting ready to go
Yeah.
into where the stuff is. He's excited.
I think we're inside.
All right. So as I was describing, the area closer to this stable entrance is so there's draft horses, riding horses, ponies, and so like mini horses and war horses, and then a bunch of different types of riding dogs, all close to this area and penned or stabled. And then on the far end, all of the you see now that all of the buildings that are surrounding the field behind the stable entrance all house some rarer creatures, but these all seem to be in kind of like small exhibits or caged areas. They don't seem like they're open and like you don't get the impression that you'd be able to buy these animals. They're kind of for show. As in, like, somebody's collected these animals and is now showing them off to whoever is willing to pay. Hence the menagerie. So it's basically like a little zoo of rare animals that are throughout Seregen, and then it also has an area for you to buy mounts if you'd like. So unfortunately, Zippo, of the list you gave me, they don't really have anything like that. They do have so one of the exhibits is a bear, but it's not for sale as a mount.
I can't think of the word. Disgrace. That's the word I'm looking for. Zippo's upset. But you did say there was riding dogs? Because I don't feel like Zippo can ride a workhorse himself because he's only 2 feet tall. So
yeah,
There's ponies too.
Yeah, there's ponies and basically mini horses. Like, you've seen a mini horse before, right?
Yeah.
And then there's mastiffs. There also seems to be 3 riding hares. Which are basically giant bunnies that a small creature could ride.
I'm going to them first.
Yeah, they're dire hares basically.
All right. Yeah, Ulrich is absolutely following Zippo.
Okay. Zippo's like the kid that's you've gone to the zoo and the kid's running to the different things like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that?
Yep. This is his first time seeing any of this kind of stuff. He's
right,
excited.
Yeah. Makes sense. You probably have seen some larger hares in the plains to the south. They're mostly kind of toward the the west, but there are some that are in the south too. So you might have seen some run from you, but yeah, these hares are about your size. And by about your size, I mean like their ears point up above your head.
I love them already. But as soon as we run up to them, are they near where the dogs are? Like the riding dogs?
No, they're on the opposite side.
Oh, sad. Okay, so Zippo's gonna keep running back and forth, just excitedly smiling, just not even saying a word, just running back and forth and pointing at them.
As Ulrich kind of picks up on the running back and forth, he's now looking around for the person he needs to speak to.
So there are a few it seems to be workers that are kind of caring for the animals or keeping watch over the animals, but there is someone who seems to be running the show. Seems to be an elf, a female elf, with brownish blonde hair, and she wears tight leather clothing, as if she's ready to go riding at any moment.
Of the mastiffs, like, are there any of them that are like stand out, like color wise? Like, are they all the same color, or are they mixtures, or does one look more friendly or meaner than the other?
Yeah, there's a variety of mastiffs. If you're looking for a specific temperament, I can roll to see which ones there are. What are you looking for?
So my idea is, I'm assuming these mastiffs are not only bred as mounts; they could be used as protection animals.
Presumably,
So
the more you make a bond with the creature, the more it can probably do.
Yeah, the idea for Zippo at this point is get a bunny to ride, and then get 2 mastiffs, if he can afford this all, to be like his best friends, possibly ride, and then possibly be like protection animals for him, because he doesn't feel like he trusts everybody, but he trusts Jordan the most, and he doesn't feel Jordan can protect him from a lot of stuff, just in case, you know. He also has a lot of disadvantage in precision checks during the day, which sucks because that's what we're always in. So I would like to have like an animal that can do that as well.
Okay.
So ideally, I'd like to find two of like a kind of one that's like I could have as like my best friend, or a mean one that I could have as a bodyguard. Probably more towards the mean one at this point. But I have to check price first because I might not be able to afford 3 things.
All right, so let's
do
move
one of
over to
my
Ulrich then. So Ulrich, you are you approaching the woman?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Excuse me, miss. Are you the stable master, the menagerie man? I don't really know what title you prefer. Sorry.
Well, if you know what the title of the menagerie is, you know my name. My name is Maureen.
I did not see the title, but it's nice to meet you, Maureen. My name is Ulrich Oakenhearth.
Nice to meet you.
Nah, pleasure's all mine. Now, I'm looking to maybe purchase some horses, some mounts. I was hoping you could talk to me and my little friend over there about prices and the performance of the animals, things like that.
Ah, yes. So you're looking to buy some animals, of course.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? What can I help you with?
Well, we got 5 travelers. 2 of them are on the smaller side, and 3 of us are a little bigger. So I'm probably looking for 2 horses, maybe a pony, and well, whatever the little guy wants. So 3
And since there's
horses
not
and a
really
pony.
many other patrons around, she immediately looks at Zippo as he's darting back and forth. She has a little sparkle in her eye at that. She seems to be amused and also kind of happy that somebody's this excited about animals. Yeah. Of course. We have a variety of different mounts. One moment.
Oh yeah, no, that's all right.
One of my cats has gotten out of the pen again. One moment.
Yeah, no, I was about to point that out. You gotta be careful with those things. Probably put a top on that pen, to be honest. But well, I shouldn't tell you how to do your job. My bad.
I'm back. Don't worry. It's fine. It's all in the job, you know. Well, in terms of horses, are you adventurers? Are you travelers? Are you looking for horses for working?
Well, we're on the road. We're adventuring, if you like, I suppose. But yeah, we're gonna need some riding horses. I'm a bit of a big guy. I might need a draft horse myself, but
Well, if you're looking for a bigger horse,
a war horse.
let
would be
me
just
ask
fine.
you this: what type of things are you going to use the horse for? I'll say this: if you're looking for a big horse as a draft horses are good for, well, at a farm, but they're not necessarily what you might want if you are expecting to run into any trouble. If you know what I mean, they'll bolt as soon as there's any form of danger.
I misspoke. I said draft horse because, as I say, I'm a little bit bit taller. But a war horse is what I'm most comfortable with. I only take a draft horse if we decide, well, to get a wagon instead of multiple animals.
Makes sense. Yes. Riding horses run you about 90 gold. Draft would be a little bit cheaper, but you're getting what you pay for. About 60 gold. War horses, on the other hand, well, they take a lot of training, and they're, as you can see, and she gestures to these giant horses that are muscular, ready. They're kind of in their pens. They look like they want to be out of the pen. Like they don't want to be in the pen right now. They'll run you about 430 gold per horse.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think who sells the wagons. You know how much they usually charge.
Wagons. Let me see if I can recall. And she pulls out a book and looks up some of her associates. Let's see here. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Sorry, my assistant. A wagon, you say? Well, they only run about 40 gold. They'd be cheaper than the draft horse.
Yeah. So, here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go.
The larger wagons might cost you more, but
yeah. So, I'm thinking if we get a large wagon, what do you think? I would say draft horses to pull the wagon, but you agree? Or
yeah, a draft horse might be fine for a wagon.
well, I mean, if you think riding's better.
Well, riding would be good for carrying a person, not a wagon.
Yeah, that's kind
they're
of what I
built
was
for
thinking.
speed. Yeah.
Well, all right. So, figure I'm gonna get a wagon. I'm gonna get probably 2-horse carriage. I'll get 2 horses to your drafts. And Zippo, what are you thinking, bud?
Whenever you ask that, Zippo runs over to you and like grabs at your hand and starts trying to pull you towards the dogs.
Yeah. I'll pet the dogs in a minute. Which one you want?
I don't know. I haven't got to look at them all. There's so many.
All right. Well, here, I don't know what your financial situation's really like, Zippo.
I got money. I don't know how much they cost though.
Hey, what do your dogs cost?
They're 40 gold each.
Oh,
Wow.
I can buy them.
You're selling the dogs and the horse the same price? That's all right.
Well, the horses are 60 gold.
Oh,
The
yeah.
draft
You said the wagon was 40 gold. My bad.
Yes.
Okay, Zippo, go up to the lady. Which one of your dogs are friendly or mean?
Well, it depends on how you treat them. They can be either. If you kick a dog, it will bite. If you pet a dog and
I'll
give it
bite you.
treats, it will be nice to you. See, I care for my animals. I treat them with care, and I train them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be selling them to people. I want to make sure, however, that the people that buy them, people that will treat my animals well as well. And she looks you up and down, and she says, "Tell me, have you ever cared for an animal before?" And she looks a little apprehensive.
Do people count? Like babies? In my tribe, I have to take care of the babies.
Okay, thank you for clarifying, because you're a kobold and you're asking if people count. So she kind of took that a different way at first.
We also have mounts in my tribe. I just couldn't bring any of them with me. They're tribe only. They're bats.
Yeah.
They were fun.
You had ostriches and bats in the kobold tribe.
Yeah, they were fun. You don't have any flying creatures, do you?
Not for sale. And she says, but we do have a birdhouse on the other end.
They're not for sale. I don't want to see them. I'll be sad.
Oh. Well, okay. And just to give you, like, as she gestures that way, you see that there's an elephant, a rhinoceros. There's 2 bears. One's black and white in color. One is brown. There's several different kinds of colorful birds. And now that you look, you do a double take, and you do see that there is one more pen of creatures toward the other end. They're giant shelled creatures.
I love those.
What was that?
I said, oh, I love those. Okay, so Zippo's gonna go back and look at the dogs, and he's gonna just start kind of like hollering, like saying, "Come here, boy!" And whichever ones come to him is the ones he's gonna look at the most.
Okay. So as soon as you approach the pen, 5 or 6 different dogs kind of rush at you, and like are like really excited to see you, and they all seem to be the same species. They're all mastiffs, so they're fairly large dogs. Some are longer haired, some are shorter haired, but they're all very muscular dogs. They're all look like they've seen a lot of training and exercise. There are brown and white spotted. There's a black one. There's a one that's so gray it's almost blue in color. There's one that's kind of like blonde and black hair in like a ruddy pattern. So it almost looks like glowing embers. There's one that's brown, white, and black, and so on and so forth.
Okay. I guess I'll go up to the black one,
Okay.
like the pure black one. I'll pet on him for a couple minutes. If I can reach him, that is. I'm assuming
Yeah.
the kid is taller than me.
So their heads are about level with your head, and probably bigger. So you're petting this puppy.
Yep. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take this one. I like this one. He seems the best.
I'm gonna let you name him, and whatever name you come up with is what she'll tell you the name is. So obviously this is out of character.
Yeah. I'm looking here. We're gonna go with. I'm trying to think. We're gonna go with Brunhild.
Brunhild. Okay. Yes, Brunhild. That's a good dog. Very good dog. Yes, he is. And she scritches him behind the ears. Will that be everything you desire today? You said you mentioned other traveling companions that you had, but you've only bought 3 animals so far.
Yeah, well, we're going to be getting a wagon. So what I'm going to ask is that we'll take the Brunhild. We'll take Brunhild with, and if you can hold on to the 2 horses for me.
Certainly. And you'll will you want so that they both include barding. So you'll get a saddle and the rest of the stuff as part of the cost. But I won't have anything that you'll be able to hook them up to the wagon with. You'll need to buy that separately with the wagon.
Well, I assume they do sell that.
Yes, of course.
Is there anything specific out of character? Is there anything specific I need to ride the dog, or can I just kind of hop on him?
So the dog also comes with a riding saddle and everything like that. So that's part of the cost as well. You'll also get a week's worth of food for the animals as part of that deal.
Awesome. All right. As soon as she gives me Brunhild, I'm gonna hop on his back.
Okay. Since he's not currently wearing a saddle, give me a dexterity check.
15.
Okay, you managed to stay on, which thrills you because you've never ridden a creature before, and the dog kind of stands up straight, looks back at you, and basically is like, "Where are we going? Where are we going, boss?"
I'm gonna point him towards that cage where the crab creatures were.
Okay. As you get closer, the shelled creatures are actually giant snails.
Even better. They're still adorable.
So they're just slowly kind of pattering around the cage, eating some sort of lettuce-like thing at one of the corners of the stall, or corners of the enclosure, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay, I guess whenever I get done looking at them, I'll go back to her, and she gave us the saddle, so I'm gonna ask her if she can show me how to hook it up onto him.
Sure. And she says, she calls over one of her one of the guys that was caring for the dog, and he basically tells him to teach you, and you two go off to learn how to do that. So Ulrich, that's going to be 160 gold, I believe, for everything. Does
that includes the dog?
I get
that
paid
includes
for
the dog? Yeah.
Ulrich will pay for it, and you can keep that in mind
Okay.
for later if need be.
I mean, Zippo did pay for the room, so there's already some shared cost there.
Yep.
All right. So while you guys are continuing in the menagerie for now and deciding where to go next, I'm going to move over to the other group, Jaeger and Roger.
Yes. Let's go locate a jeweler.
Okay.
My assumption is that we would want to go to the shipping district.
I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. It is not Jaeger and Roger. It's Yarvik and Roger.
Yarvik and Roger.
Same difference.
Yarvik is a Jaeger.
Exactly.
Yarvik, I think we should go to the shipping district. If we can't find a jeweler there, they, I suspect, will be the most likely to know where we could find one.
Roger's going to know more about this than me, so I am going to. I'm pattering along quietly, letting Roger lead the way on this one.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Roger, where did you say you were going to look for a jeweler?
We'll start with the shipping district. If we can't find one there, then somebody who is there probably knows where we can find one.
So,
to the shipping district.
To the shipping district. So the shipping district is in the northern part of town. Despite it being morning, it is bustling with activity of caravans coming in or preparing to leave for the day. Obviously, usually when people travel, they want to travel for the full day. So this is the prime time for leaving. You don't see very many shops in this area. It's mostly warehouses and workers. A lot of it is intake from the mines. So like different minerals and powders and things of that nature, or metals that are being loaded up and getting ready to be shipped. Some of it is getting ready to be transported to other areas of the town to be worked on and things of that nature. There are things coming in, such as equipment this is a mining town, so there's a lot of mining equipment coming in, or whatnot, or clothing and food and things of that being shipped in. So I guess you're trying to flag down somebody that's working or bringing stuff in and out. How do you want to do this?
So I assume we can see like roughly where each different type of thing is going.
It's kind of all on top of each other. The inbound is here and outbound is here.
Okay. Do we see anybody that looks like they're directing traffic, so to speak?
So there, what appears to be a foreman is directing people here and there. People keep approaching them, getting instructions, and then leaving, or they just no, 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 and then he like says, "You go over there," and things of that nature.
All right. I will get in what I assume is a line approach of people approaching him.
Yes.
And wait until it is our turn. Once we get to the front, I'll ask, where can we find a jeweler?
He gives you a flat look and he says, "Somewhere else. Get out of my face." And he kind of pushes you out of the way and starts talking to the next guy. Like, he obviously knows you're not supposed to be there and isn't interested in answering questions about town.
All right. Well, do we see anything that looks like it might be a jeweler's shop? Something that's processing, handling gems.
Maybe we go back to the bar and ask the barkeep.
Okay.
You could do a perception check before you go to see. If you see anything like that.
Alrighty.
So most of the stuff that's being brought in and out are in boxes and crates. Most are unmarked, but there are various sizes. They seem to be in regimented small, medium, or large crates. So they might know what that means, but not to your untrained eye for shipping and receiving. They just look like boxes. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Yeah, we can go back to the bar and ask where a jeweler might be found.
And if they happen to be serving drinks this early? Yeah.
So you're going back to Converging Pints?
Yeah, that's reasonably close.
Okay. Yeah, it's right down the road.
Yeah, we'll walk back a block or two and ask the lady who is tending the bar, or one of the other staff members if they're up and about now.
So there's a few people eating breakfast, kind of like the diner regulars. The woman behind the bar is indeed still there. Back so soon?
Yeah, we had some trouble finding what we were looking for. Do you think you could point us in the direction of a jeweler's shop?
Well, certainly. There's an artisan's way down, and she gives you directions down to this area right here on the map.
Okay.
So she describes basically that there's woodworkers and jewelers and other artisans that are all grouped in this area here. So if you're looking for, things that are nice and pretty and things like that, that's the place to go. And the jeweler, she says, also appraises raw and cut gems. She says, and if you're looking for appraisals, you could also go to any of the mines. They might be able to help you there too. Especially if they're uncut. They'll probably pay you handsomely if they're uncut.
Well, thank you very much for the information. So I guess we'll step away, and the gems that we have are actually cut, right?
Yes.
All right. So Yarvik, let's go to the Artisan's Way and visit this jeweler that we have directions to.
Sure thing. Maybe we don't tell them we're selling at first. Let's see what they're selling these for before we play our hand.
Absolutely. Yeah. Check the prices.
All right. So you head over to that area of town, and there is indeed several artisan shops. It seems there's a ceramicist, a jeweler, a woodworker, and a blacksmith that only does the fanciest of metal sculptures. And there's also a glass blower.
Interesting. Well, let's go into the jeweler shop and take a look around.
Okay. So you approach a jewelry shop that's known. That's the name on the top of it is Berkeley's Gems, and it has a kind of like a ring with several different cut gems kind of floating above it, as if like you're selecting which gem's going to go into the ring.
There you go.
Looks like as good a place as any.
Inside, it's as you would expect any jeweler to have. It does kind of appear to be kind of like what a modern jeweler would be like. It's metal cases with glass to prevent somebody from just reaching in and taking the gems. There are some on display on the back wall, either hanging or on shelves. Berkeley, or who you assume to be Berkeley, is sitting behind the main counter on a personal desk with a strange set of glasses on that he's looking at a bracelet and using some tools on it.
Good morning, sir.
Just a moment. And he it's a very quiet voice. I hope it wasn't too quiet for the mic, but yeah, he seems to be a very quiet man, as he looks like a very frail human being, but his hands have no tremble to them at all. It looks like he would be the type of person that would tremble, how slight he is, but all that strength, I guess, is in his hands because he definitely is working on this bracelet. And he gets to a stopping point about 5 minutes later or so. He does make you wait a moment as he continues his work in silence, humming to himself softly. And then he gently takes off his glasses, sets them down, kind of steps off his stool and hops over to you. He only has one leg. He's on a peg leg.
That is not an unusual quality, it seems.
Jeweled peg leg.
Looks like we lost Belzian.
He's busy in the clock tower right now. So.
Yeah. All right. So, yes, how can I help you today?
I have two things that I'm interested in. One, my younger brother who lives somewhat far away. I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm interested in maybe buying him a gift for when we are reunited. And I also have some things for appraisal, but that's less important.
Yes. Oh, okay. One moment.
Yo.
Oh, Alexa. Hey, Alexa, you're gonna have to take care of that cat. It's gotten out and it's yarfing. Zippo, don't let your dog eat that, damn it.
I won't. Bruno, come this way.
Yarfin. Now we're just adding S to all of the characters' names.
F in the chat.
Chat. Yeah, I was about to say that.
F's in chat to pay respects.
All right, he's good. Ah, well. And he kind of hobbles over to the counter where the. Sorry, I'm just laughing because Jaeger put F in chat. All right. He hops over to the counter where a plethora of bracelets are kept. And he says, well, could you tell me a little bit about your brother? What are you looking for? What's within your price range? And he kind of gestures to the bracelets.
I'm not looking to spend more than about 50 to 75 gold.
As you see that, he hops further down the. Of course, he starts with the most expensive, right?
Of course.
He hops further down the case to some more plainer-looking bracelets, some of which have insignias of different deities of the 12. Some that have all 12. Some that have different animal patterns, or some, just intricate flowers or trees or things of that nature. Various traditional, plain but fine jewelry. He's obviously talented, but the cheaper stuff does not nearly look as impressive as some of the more intricate things you had just seen a little bit
Of course. So Roger will gesture to one with some like leaf or tree imagery on there, and say, how much for that one?
So the leaf and tree design, it looks like, so it's a tree in the center with leaves blowing out from it as if it's kind of mid-autumn. So it's kind of like superimposed leaves, like it looks like maple leaves blowing in the wind. It has no gems on it whatsoever. It's just the inlay and cut pattern. And that's worth 50 gold. It's sterling silver, he says. It's sterling silver. One of my I'm very proud of this one. The tree, just, it looks like it's really blowing in the wind.
Does.
Make a perception check for me.
Let's see if I can roll higher than a 2 this time.
You cannot.
No.
You're not sure if it's the cabinet shaking slightly as he kind of adjusts his weight, or if you really saw it, but the tree appeared to be swaying for a moment, as if it was really swaying in the breeze when he said that.
So Yarvik's been kind of hanging out over here, a case or two down, keeping an ear on things to see how this is going. Does Yarvik notice anything, or?
What are you looking for? You notice anything? You're talking about the bracelet itself?
Yeah, just go ahead
and make a perception for me.
Eye or vision or earshot to hear what that was.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception. You've got a different angle too, so you might.
see more or less?
You see more or less the same thing.
And how much would it be to have his name etched on the inside?
Well, I could more than likely work on that sometime today and get that to you tomorrow. That would be another. Well, And he pauses for a second and says, "Before I quote you, what is his name?"
Finn.
Oh, Finn. And you just want to put Finn in it? Just the name Finn?
And the last name, I suppose. Finn Mays.
Finn Mays. Okay, well that's simple enough. That won't be more than 5 gold pieces. I could have that ready for you by tomorrow morning.
Okay, before I sign anything on that, can we also get these gems appraised?
So you pull out, do you pull out all the gems?
How many were there? 10?
Mm-hmm.
Is that? We'll pull out, we'll take out 3. And maybe perhaps leave the impression that there might be more in the bag, but not giving away how much more.
Okay. So he he says he kindly smiles and he says, "1 moment," and he walks back over, or he hobbles back over to his table, grabs one of the monocular looking things, and clutches it in his hand and carries it back over. He kind of drags the stool along with him, and he parks it down, and he sits down and, "Oh, let's see here," and he's like, and he gently looks at each one. The third one, which is a clear stone, he looks at for the briefest of moments and then puts it down. And he says, he pushes the 2 colored gems, and he says, "These are 50 gold each," and they're both the same color. They're both a greenish in color. You would guess, in your limited knowledge of gemology, that they're probably something like emeralds. And then he kind of flicks the other one toward you, and he says, "And that's glass."
And the other ones that we have in the bag, are they all more emeralds like this, or are they all glass?
So there's 2 other clear ones, 3 blue ones, and then the rest are green. Yes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull the others out, and I'll maybe slide the other clear ones off in the direction of the other one and say, I suppose these probably aren't worth anything either.
Well, I can take a look if you'd like.
Sure.
So
go ahead and give him the rest to look at.
He looks at each in turn and kind of tallies up on a scratch board. So I believe that's 4 or 6 that are going to be the emeralds that are 50 each. So that means 3 are glass, theoretically, and that leaves 1 left, and that's a reddish in color, and it's 25 gold. One of the ones that you thought might be glass like the other is indeed a diamond and is actually 100 gold.
So we've got 2 pieces of glass,
Mhm.
1 diamond at 100 gold. Either a ruby or a garnet at 25, and then 6 emeralds at 50. So, do a little bit of math.
Should be 400 and
425.
25.
Yeah.
Yep. And that does not divide into 6 evenly, but it does divide into 5 evenly. So, Audra will pull Yarvik over and say, does this seem like a fair price?
Jorvik's gonna pull out his pipe, gesture to the shopkeep as if to ask, "You mind if I smoke?"
He kind of squints and says, I would prefer. And then he kind of looks you up and down, and he says, "No, go ahead."
Sir, Jorvik's just gonna chew on the pipe. He's not gonna light up. He's gonna chew on the pipe, kind of give him a little bit of a side eye and chew on the pipe a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe we sell half here, hang on to the rest, see where our journey takes us. Maybe there are other places where these might be carrying a little more value. This place does a lot of trade with minerals. If minerals like these are coming through town very often, maybe they're not worth as much here.
Roger's definitely still eyeing that silver bracelet from earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, out of character. That's definitely a good point. You would imagine that a town that specializes in that's named Jewel is probably high to buy and low to sell.
Yeah.
But you know that they're good for buying. So
As other places, there may not be as much demand.
right.
Or money.
Right. Roger's definitely all in on selling these here. He's not so good with the investing and holding things for later.
Right. Yarvik's a little more pragmatic because he sells a lot of skins and stuff as he comes into town to trade, and he's kind of a little bit more into dickering and kind of stuff like that. In character, something it's I know you want the bracelet. There's no reason you can't trade yours in your share. If we're going to go by his assessment, and we divide that 5 ways, there's no reason you can't trade in a jewel or 2 to cover
It'd
the
be
cost.
6 ways if it's a Jordan.
6 ways.
Yeah, don't forget about Jordan the Bard. By the way, if you're wondering what Jordan's doing, you actually saw him at the tavern at Converging Pints. He was actually setting up to play a set at the tavern. He's being the piano man of that tavern for the day.
Okay.
What a rock star.
So Yarvik, how about I trade in my emerald as my share of this, and we can hold or trade the other emeralds as we see fit, as the other party members see fit. If I buy this bracelet, I'll be back here tomorrow, and if anybody else wants to sell their share here in Jewel, they can do that. Then, does that make sense?
Yep. I personally also am even though I know we may not get the best deal here, I'm also in need of some coin. So I would think trading. So if we're doing 10, I guess we got 3. Everybody basically gets a jewel, right? Is that
Right.
how
Right.
it's going?
Yeah,
So
we have one emerald for each of us, and then we have
The ruby and the diamond left
the ruby and the
as
diamond
part of the
left.
pool.
Yeah, well, and the glass technically.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna join Roger in trading in my emerald, and then
Okay.
for the good of the group, I think we're gonna hang on to the rest of the stuff at least at a time because you never know out on the road we may need. These could prove more valuable than the coin right now.
It's spell components.
Seems reasonable. And if anybody else in the party wants to trade in theirs, Roger will be back tomorrow morning to pick up the bracelet. So I'll say to Berkeley, yeah, let me. Where do I need to sign to buy that?
He writes out a writ. It's got the insignia of the shop that you saw from the outside on the painted board. It basically just is a description of the item, its worth, and that you'll pick it up tomorrow. And he expects you to pay the gold up front.
All right, so it was 50 for 50 for the bracelet, and then 5 for the etching.
Yeah, so it'd be 55 in total.
And tell them we're all interested in selling 2 of the 6 emeralds. Ask if I could use my credit of 50 from one of the emeralds to cover the bracelet. I'll get out 5 gold to pay for the rest of it.
So on the writ, he actually writes out paid in 1 emerald worth 50 gold pieces and 5 gold pieces. And then he puts SG next to the gold pieces and signs it. And then says, sign here.
And Roger will read through everything one more time and then sign it.
Okay. He rips the paper off the pad and then rips off the piece of paper below it and hands it to you. It looks like a carbon copy of the receipt that you had just signed.
Cool.
Is that all? And he turns to Yarvik and says, "Is there anything that you would like, Master Halfling?"
It's just interesting to see your wares. I don't really have a need for jewels and gemstones, things of this nature, but I respect the work. I respect the craftsmanship.
He bows, thanks you both, and hobbles back over, dragging his stool with him, and sits down and says, Roger Mays, I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Have
a good day.
Have a fine day, yes. And you leave with a jingle as the door opens and closes. All right. So, I guess we can either do the magic shop or Cyrus at this point. Who's going to the magic shop? Who's going to Cyrus? I know Jaeger wanted to go to Cyrus. Ulrich wanted to go to Cyrus.
Zippo wants to go to the magic shop.
And who wants to go to the magic shop? Magic's magic.
Magic's magic. Zippo is ecstatic on his dog, so he's ready to get right over there.
Yeah, I think we just split ways, and we go to one goes to the mag shop and one goes to Cyrus between
Right.
Zippo and I.
So Roger, where were you planning on going after getting appraisals?
Roger's looking for a Fletcher. He wants to buy some more arrows.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, since we've got 2 1s and then 2 2s, I'm going to do the 1s first. As in, like, the one-offs. So, Yarvik and Ulrich, you guys are going to be going to the barracks. I'll do you both last.
Okay.
And then I'll do Zippo and then Roger. And yeah. All right, so Zippo, we go over to Magic's Magic. You know where that is. It's on the north end of town. I'm going to ping it. It's the H area. Seems to be kind of off on its own. The magic shop is brightly colored. It's orange with white dots on it. Almost looks like a toadstool's dotting pattern. And it says Magic's Magic in big purple letters painted above it. It's probably the largest sign that you've seen in town. Most have been modest signs. This one's kind of calling as much attention as possible to it. There's also several different types of statues set out around the building, kind of in haphazard-looking scenes. Like they were placed there with some care, but not selectively. So, like, you've got like figures of women and angels with like a frog, like, and you know, all kinds of different things. Like there's no real order to it, but they are set up.
How tall is the door? Like, am I tall enough to reach the door handle to get it up myself, or will I have to ride on the back of my dog to get it up?
There's 2 door handles. One is lower, one's higher. That's a common thing. Again, this world is definitely set up for people of multiple sizes. You don't see things that are for large creatures, but you see things that are for medium and small.
Okay. Now, is there anything saying I can't ride my dog in this shop?
There doesn't seem to be anything that says no pets allowed.
I'm going to open the door and I'm going to scream in, is dogs allowed in here?
Well, sure.
Sweet. And then I'm just going to ride my dog through the door.
All right. You see a wide looking gnome sitting behind a counter in the most cluttered shop you have ever seen. The shop is filled with items from floor to ceiling. You can't see the walls in... You can't see the walls in this building. You know there are walls because you approach from the outside, but there's suits of armor, there's barrels with items in them, there's things hanging from the walls, so filled that it's hard to tell where the wall ends and the items begin.
Okay, so I guess I don't really have anything specific I'm looking for, so I'll look around.
Okay.
See what I can see, and then if I think of something specific, I'll walk up to him and ask him.
So, looking at all these items, some of them look fairly normal, some are brightly colored. There's things that appear to be wands, staves, swords, weapons, all kinds of different things. Yeah, so you see a variety of everything and anything. There's, as I said, there's suits of armor, there's bits of armor all over the place. There's whips,
Okay.
yeah, there's everything.
I'll
There's a stuffed bear in the corner.
Oh. Is it bigger than me, or is it about my?
Oh yeah, it's bigger than the bear that you saw in the menagerie. It's on all. It's not on all fours. It's standing up, like that.
Ah, gotcha, like a hunted one.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a stuffed animal kind of bear.
Oh no, this is a probably something a taxonomist would have made.
Gotcha. Okay,
A
then I'll go up to the
taxidermist.
guy at the counter.
Taxidermist, not a taxonomist.
I go up to the guy at the thing. Like, you got a lot of wares here, man.
I do, yes.
I'm looking for a couple specific magic items. I'm not sure if you have them.
Say that again.
I was just letting you know, I'm looking for a couple specific magic items. I'd like to find possibly a bag of holding and a magical cloak. It can be of almost any kind of magic. I just preferably cloak of protection, but I could. You just tell me what you have cloak wise, and I can, go from there.
He kind of looks at you for a long second, and he gestures over to an area where there's a whole bunch of bags kind of hanging up. And then he shows you a rack on the other side where there's several groups of items of clothing, some of which there are some cloaks and things like that. He says, well, you can sift through this, but I'm not sure what all of them do, to be honest.
I like it. Okay. My last question is, what's up with that stuffed bear over there? Is anything magical about it, or is it just like a prop?
What do you think?
I'm assuming it's just a prop, but it'd be cool if it was like someone invade your house and it comes to life kind of thing.
Would it be in Magic's Magic if it wasn't magical?
That is true. You got a point, bud. What kind of magic does it do?
Well, the person that sold it to me told me it was magically enchanted to be frozen in place. It is an immovable bear.
I love it. That's awesome. Okay, I'll go over to the bags first and sort through them.
All right. So, you pull out one bag and he says, "Ah, yes, that's a magical bag. That bag used to be a bedroll, and somebody turned it into a bag. So it's magical. You can turn it inside out, and it turns into a bedroll."
I'll just put that one back and look at that.
You pick up another bag and it instantly changes color as you pick it up. You assume that bag's magically enchanted to change color as soon as you touch it. Probably good. Comes to mind a use for it would be, you'd be able to detect if somebody's trying to steal from you because your bag's going to light up. Yeah, most of the bags that you pull out don't seem to be a bag of holding. There's one bag that you pick up and you can't seem to put it down, and he's like, that's a bag of holding. You pick it up and you can't put it down, so you're holding it. There do seem to be a few bags that don't seem to react to you touching them in any way. So one of those may be a bag of holding. You can see.
Okay, I'm gonna. I guess one of the bags that doesn't respond to me, I'll open it up and put one of my daggers in it.
Okay.
And then does it just disappear, or is it just sitting in the bag?
So Give me a percentage roll, please.
83.
Okay. So your dagger falls into a what appears to be a bag filled with beans. But it seems to be more beans than could fit in a bag of that size. Like dried beans.
I'm so confused. Okay. I'll take one of the beans out and look at it. Does it look like anything special?
Give me a perception check.
11? Because I have disadvantage for some reason?
Yeah, I don't know why you rolled twice.
It's because I have disadvantage technically because of daylight. And it just does that constantly, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. It just looks like a normal dried good of a bean. So you've seen bags of holding before. This looks like it's a bag of holding, but whoever owned it last when he sold it, it had actual, like, just a whole bunch of beans in it when he sold it.
That dude. Okay. I'll put that one to the side for now and look at the other two. I'll drop a dart in one of them and see what happens with that one.
That bag has dust similar to the dust that you in the bag of dust that you guys picked up at the ogres. And then the third bag appears to be just a normal bag of holding with nothing in it.
How much for these bags?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, gotcha. Well, while he's doing that, I'll grab them and I'll start looking at the cloaks, I guess. I'll just hold on to them for now.
The cloaks are of similar dubious description. What kind of cloak are you looking for again?
Okay, so ideally... Hang on a second. Ideally, either a cloak of protection or a cloak of something similar to that. Like, it doesn't have to be. It could be a cloak of billowing or like a cloak, any kind of really special cloak. Because Zippo wants, like, Ulrich has got that awesome armor and everything like that, and he's just like, I want to be stand outing now. Like, I want to stand out a little bit. So he wants some kind of cloak that will magically give him something at this point. Like, billowing would be cool because then he could constantly be going in the wind of his dog. While he's on his dog, looks like he's running real fast, but he's walking real slow.
All right. So, while he's deciding on the cost of the bags, because none of them had price tags on it, and he's basically kind of like looking at them. The cloaks. There's a cloak that has a shimmer to it. When you find it, so like you leaf through the cloak, it shimmers, kind of bright and sparkly in color, almost like there's stars shining in it. It kind of reminds you of the stories of wizards that have the purple robes and pointy hats with the stars in it, except these stars glimmer as if they're in the night sky. There's a cloak that always seems to be moving as if you were walking, but it's still. It's not billowing, but that's, I guess, similar to what you're looking for. And the rest of the cloaks all just seem really nondescript cloaks that when you ask him what they do, he has no idea. He just knows that they're magical and guarantees that they are in some way or shape or form.
Okay, so the shiny one, the one that looked like stars, I'm going to pull that out and inspect it.
Okay. It looks nice. It shines. Yeah. What advertises what it is, as far as you know.
Okay. Well, is there any way while I'm looking through these cloaks, I can make like an Arcana check that would give me like kind of a little
There we
description?
go. Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely, you can. So
I got a 20.
very nice. So you're looking at the cloaks that are nondescript, or the cloak that is sparkly?
I'd say the nondescript ones first.
It looks like each of the cloaks that are nondescript might give you an additional protection or an additional assistance to a check of some sort.
Okay. And then do I have to make another Arcana check for the one that was the star one?
That one seems to be I'm having trouble remembering the different schools of magic at the moment. Illusion based. So enchantment.
Alright. Then I'd say the ones that give me like an additional protection would be, well, no, the enchantment one. Do I have any hint of what the enchantment does, or is the shiny part the enchantment?
Since you're getting an enchantment vibe, but nothing more than that, I think it's enchanted to be shiny.
I do want to shine, but
think of it like a minor glamour.
gotcha.
It's stuck in that.
I'd say I would definitely, since he did get the dog for protection, he would look at the cloak. That give him some extra kind of protection of some sort.
Okay.
Now, do they range like in quality, or is it all like a set kind?
So I'm really finding that the DMG is very lacking in terms of price cost.
Yeah, it doesn't provide any.
Yeah, I'm working it out now, but that's why I'm giving you delayed answers. I'm sorry. I should have had this.
Oh, you're fine.
Prepared.
Yeah, fifth edition has a very hands-off approach to magic items.
3.5 is like here's the item, here's the price, here's the range of prices. Yeah.
3.5 is like, here's a calculator. This is a set of tables you can use to determine the price of this arbitrary item you dreamt up. Fifth edition says your DM's going to pick a number.
Yep.
So the cloak
edition's very homebrew.
The cloak of protection that you find it seems to be of medium magic enchantment. It's a wondrous item, so you imagine that it would give you, with that roll of 20, I would say you would imagine it's about +1.
I'll take it and the one that shines like the stars, and ask him the prices on them as well.
So he estimates the cloak of protection is well, since I actually told you what that one is, it would probably be about 4,000 gold for that. Yes. And well, the shiny one would be, well, it does look very nice, but nobody's bought it in a while, so I think it would be about 500 gold.
I'm gonna put them back.
And as you kind of look around, you notice that there are some price tags on some things, and all of them are very expensive.
I guess that's why his shop is so full.
Maybe.
Do you have anything under the price of 300 gold?
No. he honestly just says no. He doesn't even want to part with things that he doesn't know what they do. But I will do this. Do you have any magic items of your own? And he eyes the ring that's on your finger.
Not that I can get rid of.
I pay handsomely for magic items. That's how I got all of these.
I imagine you do, but this ring is very special to me. More special than any amount of money.
He says, not even to trade for an item in my shop?
Definitely not.
Well then, if you happen upon a magical item in your travels, I would always be interested in purchasing it or trading.
Alrighty. Do you know if there's any people in town that enchant items?
He kind of like looks shocked and says, well, we haven't had an enchanter here in ages. They've all been snatched up by the king.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, then, well, I guess you have a nice day, sir.
He kind of begrudgingly wishes you a goodbye. He was all excited that you were there to buy or sell, and you were neither, so...
I was there to buy originally, but I only have 400 or 350 gold, so...
Yeah, magic items are costly.
Walk away from that one.
Not only are they costly, but you get the sense that he holds great value in magical items.
Yeah. I would hate to hear the price of that bear.
Yeah, and you kind of leave the shop with a newfound, like, wonder at what possibly could be some of the things that you've seen and what these statues might be out front.
That is a good question. This is also Zippo's first realize of how much stuff costs, because he's pretty new to buying things. He's just like, oh, wow.
Be worth remembering this place if we come across a significant number of magic items in the future.
So I'm going to leave off Zippo and go over to Roger. Roger is looking for Fletcher. What I'm going to say there, instead of role-playing through all that, is there anything in particular that you're looking to buy with a Fletcher? Like, that would be special?
Let's see, what sort of special arrows are available?
You could get ones that deal 1d6 more of an element. Basically, they have small charges that can be strapped onto existing arrows that you have, or just arrows that you can buy there.
How much would that be for, like, I guess fire arrows is probably the thing that I'm thinking would be the most useful.
Fire arrows, they're going to be probably 5 gold a piece.
Okay. And how much would it be for, or how many arrows per gold piece for regular arrows?
Oh, it would, you could get,
I don't have the player's handbook open.
That's why I have things marked now. I got you, buddy. Interesting. We can look that up. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Arrows 5e.
Yeah, I see the price of the weapons, but not the arrows.
Yeah. You can get a bundle of 10 for 1 gold apiece.
Let's see. I guess I'll buy 10 of the fire arrows, and 30 regular arrows to bring me up to 50 regular arrows. So
Okay.
that'll be,
So 53?
yeah, 53 gold.
All right, you can just take that out. Yeah, Fletcher's pretty basic. You don't really need to go find a Fletcher. We don't really need to. It's just so basic for basic stuff. If you guys want to buy stuff in town, we don't need to, act through every single thing. It's just the more specialty shops where we can do that. Just as long as you tell me what you're buying in town, and mark it in your sheet and make sure it's paid for, then I'm fine with that. All right.
Yeah, that's all I'm getting.
Cool. Let's go. So, Bane, how you doing out there in the real world?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Sorry for the traffic.
Okay, so you're still on the way home?
I was gonna.
Okay, you're
My
still a
free
little
time,
faint.
I'm a real person. Belzian would.
I can hang on a little bit longer if you'd like. I just wanted to check in.
It is mostly. I'm more here than I was.
Okay, you are a little faint still too.
I spoke to.
Yeah, you're coming in a little broken now.
Sorry, mates. Canadian internet.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll take care of you when you get home. As long as you can hear us fine, that's important.
It actually
too.
sounds really good. Everything's coming in perfect.
Good. And I'm hearing you a little clearer now, but since it's going in and out, I'll hold off on you for a sec. All right, let's go over to Cyrus at the barracks. So that's going to be Ulrich and Yarvik. The
Yarvik, good to see you.
Hello, sir. My memory's a little hazy on last night. We left Cirrus at the barracks, right?
Yeah, that's right. So let's head on over there.
I think at some point we pass Zippo sporting around town on his dog, and Yarvik just kind of looks over like, is he riding a dog now?
Yep, that's his mount.
That's my best friend.
Got us a couple of horses, and I'm gonna go get us a wagon carriage here in a little bit after we check on our friend.
Roger and I felt out the local situation on Jules, and we're gonna leave everyone's gonna decide individually whether they want to sell at the price. The emeralds are at, I believe, 50 gold, and we have a couple of more valuable jewels. So I think we can, when we all get back together, we can decide if everybody wants to sell theirs individually or not.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you guys get to the barracks, and the barracks in the light doesn't look very much different. It's a more nondescript building. There's two guards at the front. Neither one is Broden, the sergeant that you met last night. You would assume that he's probably not on the clock at the moment, being that he was working last night.
Fair.
So you explain to the guards who you are, and they let you in, although they ask you to stay in the main area once you're inside. And you come in to the area that they laid that Broden laid Cyrus down, and Cyrus is still there. He's being cared for by a woman in a robe that is streaked with the 12 colors of the 12 gods. It's not in a like not like the pride flag. It's more like a swirl of color. So it's like in a circular pattern, but not like a burst. It's more like a swirl of all the colors kind of wrapping around each other and getting bigger and bigger until the end of the cloak. While it is a colorful thing, all the colors are muted and faded with age. That cloak has been worn for what seems to be a long time. She seems to be kind of studying Cyrus in deep concentration, and Broden is in a chair next to Cyrus, asleep with his arms crossed and his chin on his chest.
Well, I didn't expect him to be here. Yeah, I think Ulrich will go to the cleric and... excuse me, miss. How's our friend holding up there?
After one last long look of concentration, it seems like the interruption actually kind of startles her out of it, and Cyrus actually kind of shudders a little bit. It seems like your approach has broken her concentration on whatever she was doing, and she looks up at you kind of with a patient look, despite the interruption.
Sorry,
oh, it's fine. She says in kind of a hurried, apologetic voice, and says, he's not out of the woods, but he's better than he was last night. The woman, as she turns and looks at you, she seems to have young eyes but an old face.
Well, that's good to hear. I'll leave you to it. We just wanted to check in on him. Has the sergeant been here all night?
Yes, he seems to have been watching over him since he got off shift. He was the one that came and called for us. We've been with him all night. It was certainly touch and go when I first arrived. He was on the brink, but we pulled him back.
Is that? Well, mighty appreciative of everything you've done. Just because I'm a curious guy, man. Is that something the sergeant would normally do? Is he so protective of all of the injured?
Well, I don't know Sergeant Broden personally, so I can't speak to his character, but it seems to me like he's a good man. And well, that's about all I know.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, miss. I didn't even say who I am. I'm Ulrich Oakenhearth. This is my friend Yarvik. And we brought Cyrus here in last night. I didn't catch your name.
I'm Mistress Molly, and
Mistress Molly.
she offers a slight bow.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Mistress Molly. I don't know, Yarvik, is there anything you want to do?
He still hasn't put any tobacco in his pipe. So he dipped his pipe when the mistress is introduced, and just what's going to happen, Cyrus? Where does he go from here? What kind of life can he expect after this?
Well, unfortunately, I do not have the ability to restore his limbs. If I did, there would be many in town that might benefit from such a talent. We have called one from our chapter in the capital, but obviously that message needs to get to them, and then they need to travel back. It could be weeks before we might be able to try to restore his limbs, and even then, there is a cost.
Fair.
We will need to see about that in the future, but generally speaking, costs for the church's services can be utilized. Don't worry, that the feat is not accurate. It's not to scale for the town.
Sorry, that was an
oh, it's
accident.
fine. I'm just I saw it. Generally, people can provide services to the church in one way, shape, or form as payment.
Well, that's only right and fair. There's a good possibility that we'll be heading out towards capital. Can't say when. Did you already have a carrier lined up, or is this something that's just been?
Oh, we sent out a bird earlier this morning.
All right, well, that's good. Well, I suppose if the sergeant wakes up before you head out, maybe tell him that we stopped by, said hello.
He Sergeant Broden takes a deep breath and says, kind of like blearily looks up and says, "How you doing, Ulrich?"
Hello, Sergeant Brown. Here you were here with Cyrus all night. That's mighty decent of you.
He just kind of tiredly nods.
Do you know him?
Who? Cyrus?
Man, Cyrus.
Does Sergeant know this? Do you know Cyrus?
No, not since only my brief interaction with him last night with you folk.
Yeah.
I brought him in. I wanted to make sure one way or the other somebody was with him if he passed, and if not, then somebody was with him anyway.
Very nice.
And he kind of looks over at Cyrus and he's like, "Oh, he looks like he has some color to him now. Molly, you did wonders."
Well,
Molly nods and looks like she's back in concentration, resuming whatever she was doing beforehand.
Well, Sergeant, I don't know if there's anything you need doing. Anything we could offer our services for, anything like that, any help we could give. But wanted to let you know that we appreciate what you're doing for Cyrus, and if we don't find anything that requires our attention here in town, we'll be moving on eventually here.
He nods and he says, "Well, there's a few jobs posted here, there, and everywhere around town. Many people need help. Not everything we can do stretched thin and all, but let me think on it, and I'll let you know if there's something I can think of that we need help with. There's been a few things going on lately. You know about the monsters that have been attacking the roads. We've been having a few monsters closer to home around here too. But Let me finish my rest in a real bed now that Cyrus here is looking a little better, and maybe I'll talk to you sometime later on today.
Yeah, sure. Sounds fun to me.
Where can I find you?
We're over at the tavern, you know, the good one.
You went over the pints then.
Yeah.
All right, I'll find you there later on today.
Yeah, sounds good. We should be back around there after 2 p.m.
He nods and he says, "All right, I'll see you then."
All right. Well, I gotta go get us a wagon. Want to join me, Yarvik?
Yeah. Well, while we're walking, we can chat. Yarvik pulls out his pipe as they're walking and stuffs it and takes a thoughtful draw and says, "Maybe your jewels and the earnings from them would be better served helping Cyrus get back some kind of semblance of a life. It's going to be a long, hard road for him, and we're more than capable of making money as it seems there's adequate work around this town. And if we end up,
Yeah, no,
will there be more?"
that's fair to me. I'll be quite honest with you, Yarvik. I mean, we've only been traveling together for a few days, but I do come from noble stock. I'm not really too concerned about sources of income. Like as you said, we'll certainly find work wherever it's needed. Now, I gotta talk to Roger, in fact, about what our real work is, and yeah, so you've got a little inkling of what we do, of course, because we all, well, ran into each other that night.
Right. I need to find Belson actually and find out how our business agenda's is going for the night. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I maybe not everybody will be as willing to part with their hard-earned jewels, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Uh, I'll talk with Roger. I'm sure I can convince him of something. Worst case scenario, I bet I can slip him a little bit of gold. Or just give the gold to Cyrus. Either or. Well, yeah, I think the wagon's supposed to be up this way.
And indeed, you find a wagon merchant. The price is 40 gold for a wagon. Go ahead.
Will this carry everyone?
So, yeah. So we've got what?
6 people.
Yeah.
And
So we've
dog.
got 3 mediums, 2 smalls, right? Like, or halfling. Is halfling considered a small or medium?
Small.
Small. So we've got 2 smalls, but one's riding a dog. And then I guess 4 humanoids, medium creatures. That should work. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, if there's like something that's more expensive that we need, he can probably do that too.
Right. Yeah. You should be able to fit with a 40 gold cart.
They have room for stores if we're, if we're bringing anything back or taking.
If you wanted a covered wagon, which would be 60 gold,
Okay.
it would be bigger and it would have storage space and whatnot.
Hey, look at that! I spent 60 gold.
Perfect.
Yeah, covered wagon, and then Ulrich, as his merchant, goes, God
Damn it! All right, well, I gotta go back and get the horses. I'll be back. Does that include? Does the 60 gold include all the kit I'll need to, you know, put them on the horses?
Yeah, but you'll have to do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to do it every morning, and that's just the way life goes. Can't expect people to do everything for you, unless you're, for hire.
No.
All right, well, I'll figure it out myself then.
And he trudges back to get the 2 horses, get the carts, figure out where the where the wagon needs to be parked, the horses, all that good stuff.
You can store the wagon at Converging Pints
Okay.
as part of your room and board. That's what the square is out back.
Okay.
The wagon would be stored separately, and then the horses would be boarded. If you're staying another night, you'll have to pay for that. But for now, since you guys are already patrons, they're fine for now.
Okay. Yeah.
Half of me was really hoping that you'd be like, well, I'm gonna take the wagon back over to the menagerie, and we just see Ulrich dragging this wagon across town with Jaeger confusedly looking, or potentially
Sitting on
riding
it.
the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Yarvik,
No.
excuse me.
Oh, just forgot to bring the horses.
All right, so I'm gonna say this all takes a good amount of time for each of us to accomplish all these things. How are you looking, Bane?
Can you hear me now?
I can very clearly.
Huzzah! I have made it back to my place of living.
Hey guys, excellent timing. Very good.
In fact,
All right, so Belzian goes to the Church of the 12 and the Watchtower, correct?
yeah. He was gonna go to the town square to look for a bulletin board type thing to see how
Okay.
many missing book posters could be put up. Maybe there's some on the way. There's probably some in the tavern, or at least one, job board.
Yeah.
The eBay of the fantasy world, I guess. But yeah, to the monastery or the church or the watchtower. What should we call them? Clock towers?
Yeah. Watchtower, clock tower is fine. So do you want to look for the bulletin boards first, or the? Because the town square is right there with the watchtower. So
They are pretty close. I don't have Roll20 up, but I remember the map.
yeah, they're if I were to spell out Fab with the different symbols that are in the town, the F is the church, the A is the town center, and the B is the mayor's mansion. So it's like all within pretty close distance of each other.
You know what? You're pretty fab, but let's go to the clock tower.
Okay, clock tower first. So you go into the church. The church is not it's not the largest church you've seen. Ari's church was a little bit bigger than this, but it's definitely bigger than the monastery's tower that you have spent most of your life. There is no intricate patterns on the floor like you're used to in the churches of the 12. Instead, there's a mosaic ceiling and stained glass windows. The entire building is in a circular pattern with at least the main chamber is, and each of the windows represents one of the 12 gods.
Does it got like stained glass going on?
Yeah, they're stained in the color of the god, thematically. What's interesting about this one is that the patterns all seem to be fairly modest in detail, except for the 6 o'clock god, Seregen. Seren's window is bigger, more detailed, and has a gold inlay to it. The chamber,
is the god of fortune.
Correct, yes.
Very good. Proceed.
The chamber is actually at this point empty, which is fairly unusual. Usually there's at least one cleric of the faith that watches over the church. There are doors leading to other areas of the church, maybe even more private areas. There's also a ladder that seems to go up into the tower itself, where you know there are guards that you saw when you were approaching the building. Yeah.
Oh, is there any kind of desk or anything going on reception-wise, or just nobody here?
So it's a circular room. The main area where somebody might speak is in the center of the room, with seating in a circle like an auditorium, except it's not like a half circle, it's a full circle. So like people would be seated all around the main speaker. And it's fairly simple in this is the first building that you've seen that is entirely one floor, except for the tower at the top.
Interesting.
You do see that there are balconies where more people could sit up above, but it's not like other buildings where it's an entire first and an entire second floor. But yeah, it's empty.
Does there seem to be any indication of where a library might be?
You could try a couple of the doors.
Belzian would recognize that these two half circles that make a whole circle probably have pretty good acoustics if people are doing presentations.
Mm-hmm.
So he would probably wander closer to there and shout out a general greeting of, "Hello, brothers and sisters, I have arrived." With like his arms spread wide to like nobody in particular.
Low, sisters, arrived. As you hear your voice echo acoustically throughout the building, you can basically speak at a normal volume, and you can hear it carry throughout the room. Whether it's architectural feat or magical feat, you're not sure, but it seems like you could have a conversation with someone in the center of the room, and anybody around would be able to hear it. It would not be private.
Good to know. Seeing that nobody is around, it's time to investigate. So let's try one of the doors.
All right. There are 3 doors, one on the far side of the room from where you entered, and one on either side. Which one would you try?
What's behind door number 1? So walking in and then standing in the middle would be the one on the left.
Okay.
So 9 o'clock? If the one straight ahead is 12 o'clock.
Yep, correct. I'm following you. So the 9 o'clock door, when you open it, leads to, it looks like the living area of one individual. You can see a bed, a desk, an open wardrobe with several cloaks that are in various stages of frayed, all in a colorful swirling pattern. Make a perception check for me.
Right, roll 20. You can do this. Where's my character sheet? Oh no, my character sheet's in D&D Beyond. Pardon
I
me.
can roll for you if you'd like.
Please do.
All right. It's just loading up.
I'll race ya.
Okay. You can see, based off of your observations, that the possessions seem to be potentially a female's living quarters, based off of some of the objects that you see there and the decor.
Elzian would take mental note of this as he slowly closes the door while sweeping the area with his eyes. I'd best leave privacy to the private. And close the door. I will try the 3 o'clock door now.
3 o'clock door is locked.
How locked is it? Is it just regular lock? Does it feel magical?
Give me I guess an investigation.
Sure.
Am I still rolling for you? Okay. You jiggle the handle and it is not moving, so you're not sure if there's any. The handle jiggles, but it doesn't open. You're not sure what's causing the door to not open, other than you assume it's locked.
Oh, that must mean I'm not allowed to go in here, Belzian says to himself as he wanders towards the only other door he hasn't gone to.
Okay. So the 12 o'clock door, you open it to reveal. It looks like a more private chamber. There are 2 seats. Light spills into the room from a window up above, which has a chandelier hanging from a beam that kind of divides the round window into 2 halves. The chandelier has colored glass in it that allow the light to reflect and cast colors throughout the room. There is a bookshelf at the opposite wall from the door with 4 books in it. The books are laid in a pile rather than being put into a bookshelf right due to the lack of the amount of books in the shelf.
Belzian is distressed by this. I would like to check the books and write them alphabetically onto this shelf. And if there's a bookend, squish it in there so they stay standing up.
So you put the books in alphabetical order. You noted that you've actually read all 4 of these books before. They're in the library at your monastery. And you put them in. There is no book end. And you try leaning them toward the one end of the bookshelf, because when they stay upright, they fall back over. Maybe the ground isn't exactly level in this church, because they seem to, when standing, fall down. So you lean them to one side so that they stay up.
Do they stay, though? Will they stay when I leave?
I guess there's only one way to find out.
Okay. Belzian, content with his hard work, wanders out, wondering where anybody could be. Does anybody work here? He contemplates, going to bug the night watch up the ladder, but considers it may be best to leave people to their work and come back later, hopefully when somebody's around.
As you
So
pass under the tower and leave the building, you hear the faint whisper of two men speaking to each other, but it doesn't carry enough to really hear what they say. But you can hear that there's two men up there. And you also hear not the louder call, but it's also muffled by the call of some sort of bird that's also calling up there.
what is going on up there? Perhaps Belzian's departure is slightly delayed as he tries to eavesdrop on whatever voices he can pick up down here.
All right, give me a perception.
Aye. Whoa. Clear all. A 23.
You seem to overhear a conversation, which basically the two guards are talking about troubled times that Jewel is having. It's bad enough that the monsters are attacking the roads, but now there's Naga attacking the town itself. They kind of talk about how that's unusual this time of year and that they've never attacked the town itself, only people on the road, and they kind of go on from there and fall into silence after a while.
So it's not Naga season, but they keep showing up anyways.
Well, Naga, I mean, from what you can tell, that's what they said, yes.
Okay. And they're getting bolder with their attacks.
Yes.
Very interesting. Belzian notes this as he leaves.
All
right. As he's outside, he'll take a look at the time. As he recalls, he was meaning to meet everybody in the city square here.
Well,
I think you said.
Yeah, 2:00. So it's still fairly early for you. You've only done this thing, but so I think you guys kind of broke camp, quote unquote, at 10:00. So I would say it's about 11 now for you. So you've got 3 hours to kill.
Oh, brilliant! I didn't have anything planned for this, guys.
Well, so you do have the message board, which is in the town center. And I can give you a little bit of that.
Yes.
So there's a few jobs posted for people looking for work, people requesting various services, mostly rudimentary, like request for firewood or whatnot. One flyer is an advertisement. It says, "Got monster parts? Stop on by at the Creature Collector, and we will pay you handsomely." And it lists a location in town. So, like, if you ever wanted to go there, I'll just direct you there.
Creature Collector. He copies that into his journal.
There's an advertisement for Magic's Magic. You got magic items. We got money for you. It doesn't advertise magic items in the flyer. It's just advertising if you have magic items, bring them to him. There is a flyer requesting the aid of adventurers at Mithril Mines. It seems, according to the flyer, that there have been goblin attacks at the mines, and the owners are looking for a group of adventurers to rid the minds of them.
Now,
There's
this
also
is sort of
a flyer. It has a picture of a young boy, and it says "missing" on it. What's
I didn't mean to roll that. I was clicking by accident.
the boy is listed as Matthias, Mathias. Last name is Nickel Flame.
Matthias Nickelflame.
Yes.
And
And then it says reward, see the mayor.
Elzian wonders, who is missing this boy?
Other than that, that's about all you see in terms of advertisements and job requests.
Very cool.
At least all that catch your eye. Most of them are fairly,
Normal.
yeah, like you want loot lessons or, take a tab.
Belzian notes the info about the Mithril mines and the missing Nickel Flame boy. Speaking of missing, he puts up a missing book poster close to the missing boy poster, moving everything just so if anything's overlapping, that can't happen. Just move all the posters so they're perfectly not touching each other.
Part of me's tickled that you equally valued it next to the missing boy. It's like, oh, missing things. This is where this goes. Very nice. Just as an aside, I will say that Belzian also saw that there was a message board at the Converging Pints that you probably saw but didn't look at earlier today on your way out. And you can probably assume that there's one at Stick in the Mud as well.
And we got the room at the Pints, right?
Correct.
Okay. So did we end up just getting one night or two?
I think
One,
it was
because
just
we
one.
weren't sure if we were going to stay in town that long.
Okay. I thought maybe we'll go to the other one. Maybe we won't. Okay. All right. Noted. Thank you. Belzian is going to opt to meditate on his thoughts until the rest of the party hopefully shows up around 2 o'clock.
Okay, so at 2 o'clock, the whole group gets together. So everybody meets in the town square, was it, right?
Yeah.
Jordan kind of walks into the town square and sees everybody and wanders over. Says, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
Pretty great. You see Brunhild?
Is that a dog?
This is my Mount Brunhild. He is my best friend forever.
Wow, it's a handsome dog you got there.
He was the best of the litter. And I pat Brunhild on the back of the head.
I'm sure he was, and he pats him too. Good boy. Oh, you want a berry rub? Oh, yes, you do. Jordan likes dogs.
Well, so I got us a ride. Got us covered wagon, a couple horses, and of course you got Brunhild here. Roger, I don't know if you're thinking that we need to be sticking around in the town, but I haven't really taken much opportunity to do any investigation, as it were, and the kind of work that we usually do. So I wouldn't mind sticking around, maybe taking on the odd job or two.
Oh, that sounds reasonable. At the very least, I need to stay in town until tomorrow morning, as I've commissioned something from the jeweler.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, that brings up a funny little thing. Speaking of jewels and jewelers and the town of Jewel, Yarvik and I were having a chat. What would it be worth to the rest of you if we maybe gave over those gems we found over to Cyrus, since he's gonna... Well, he won't be... He's kind of down on his luck, let's say that.
I have already
All of them.
sold my share.
1 or 0.5 of a
Alright.
map.
So you sold your share, that's fine.
Internet?
And I'm sorry, what? Oh my gosh, he blinked out of existence.
I think he said something about the internet before he got kicked out.
That must be the magic word for disappearing.
Ooh, party trick.
I don't know, what do you think, Zippo? You? I guess actually, who? Since you took a half of it, what we have? 2 gems? Who actually has claim on the other half?
We got all of them appraised. There's 6 emeralds, which I assume 1 for each of us. Two pieces of glass, and then a ruby and a diamond. I figured we'd split the emeralds evenly, and then decide as a group what to do with the rest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I suppose it's probably a fair thing to do, especially since these gems might have even come from Cyrus himself when the ogres attacked him.
Yeah.
Good point.
I can see that as a fair trade.
You all do with your shares what you like.
Also, as a side note, don't ever go to the magic place.
Alright, you have a bad experience?
Very bad. Very, very bad. It's unorganized, it's expensive, and the guy in there is very creepy.
I had no idea.
He peered, he looked at my ring in ways no one should ever look at my ring except me.
I'll keep that in mind. Alright, well, I'm gonna be giving over my gem to Cyrus. If the rest of you are willing to do it, I'd say that's very decent of you, but that's all your own decisions.
Yeah, I'm down to give mine up. But if we are going to stay in the town for longer, we should probably set up like a thing with the inn that we're staying at. That way we can keep the same rooms.
Yeah, be good.
Do we know what work there is to do here? Call for adventurers or other people of that sort of skill set?
Fellows, I was just about to mention that. It
Oh,
seems
well,
that
that's good.
we may be staying here yet another night, which is an ample opportunity to take a look at these notes that I've taken from this job board very close to where we're standing.
Oh, look at that.
I
I
found,
didn't even notice that.
I found no leads on my book, unfortunately, but I did find some leads on some jobs that could help the general populace, which I think is a good thing. Belzian shares the information about Naga attacks, the lead on the mithril mines and the goblins, and the missing boy.
Oh, and the sergeant's gonna maybe stop by around 3 o'clock or so at the inn to talk with us about some possible work. So that's also something on our agenda, as it were. I wonder if it's about the Naga attacks.
Say, Nagas sound dangerous. Perhaps we can negotiate a higher fee.
I'm not sure what a Naga is. Have any of you seen one?
Have any of us seen one?
Yeah,
Master?
that's a good question.
Or would any of us know what one is?
I might have read a book about it.
I guess Naga would be a humanoid, right?
I think they're more like
Monstrosity would be my guess, but
Yeah, I think they're more snake-like with like a human face coming out.
Yeah, let me see what they.
actually they might be celestial.
In 3rd edition, there were a lot of different kinds of Nagas.
They're a
and
monstrosity.
They are.
Yeah, that was my first guess. That tracks. Yeah. So I don't know.
So I'll take a nature survival check for that.
Heck yeah.
Whichever you'd like.
I will be doing survival for sure. I still can't seem to roll above a 5.
Hey, I got a 19 as well.
You know, Belzian, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I know exactly what a Naga is.
Inspiration point for Ulrich.
Good.
So me and Jaeger both got 19, or me and Zippo and Yarvik. Ugh.
Yarvik actually rolled 2 19s in a row. Still rolling high.
Way to die.
Trying to put that. I don't know why that even rolled.
It does
yeah,
that sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, so Zippo, you being of the amphibious type family, have know what Nagas are. Jaeger, being a naturalist, definitely knows what Nagas are. The rest of you might have heard the term Naga, but never heard it described. You might have heard it in like an old phrase, like something that an old saying would be about a snake. You could attribute it to a Naga or something like that. Like somebody who's untrustworthy might be Nagish or something of the sort. But otherwise, like so like they might have something to do with snakes, but you don't really know much more than that. Zippo and Jaeger both know that they're basically half man, half snake, kind of like a centaur, but with a snake end. So I know that D&D usually depicts them as just the head of the person and then a snake. My Naga are in this world are a little bit more than that. More like the Magic the Gathering version of them, I guess. So different wizards entity.
Yeah.
So with arms and such.
Yep.
Like a Naga, but completely different.
Like that.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's I want you to know that's the most decent picture I could find of that kind of image. That is the most decent picture I could find of a half-human snake. No.
I've got you covered.
Yeah.
POS.
Yeah,
Here.
I mean, that's essentially, yeah.
You can't see what was posted, but if you could, you would blush.
I'm just thinking Ariel, but with snake body instead of a fish body.
Yeah, but they have more of a reptilian feature to them. Kind of like how centaurs are more hairy. They're so more in kin with like lizard folk almost, but like snake folk basically.
Yeah.
Upon realizing that, Zippo would relay that information to the party.
Yarvik is just going to relay, it would probably be better that we steer clear of them, but if we're going to hunt them, we need to be ready.
Yeah, and you both know that if you're facing them in the marsh, they're definitely going to be having the advantage on that. They'll be able to move normally while you'll be stuck in the mud and move at half speed, if not less.
Fighting them probably would be the best thing. But that missing
like I
boy
said, it sounds dangerous.
That missing boy sounds a possibility thing. Might even be able to get favor with the mayor since that's who you have to meet for the reward.
Yeah, well, I wanted to clarify that. Do you think it's a reward to meet the mayor, or that the mayor gives the reward? Because it just says
If it's a reward
reward,
to meet the mayor,
see
I'm
mayor.
kidnapping the boy myself.
It says
I would be
reward to
happy for
see
either
mayor.
of those things. Reward, see a mare. I don't think I've ever seen a mare before. Think of the opportunity.
I bought one mare today.
Oh,
If you hadn't made the joke, I would have.
So I'm a little punchy right now.
So out of character, would Yarvik know, and I don't know enough about this species, would he know whether they covered jewels or treasure? Because we probably have pretty good bait if we wanted to get them to a more favorable encounter area.
The Naga are a whole people, so they're not necessarily known for their greed. Now if you want a greedy race, goblins, which were also on the table, are definitely one that comes to mind. The Naga it's more like the marshlands, and the marshlands are known for this, are the home of the Naga. So whether Jewel is in their home or which came first, the Naga or Jewel, is the question there.
Okay.
I mean, we could do. If we're planning on doing a bunch of stuff to help the city, then we might need to do longer term rooms than just one night. So we might be able to set up a long term, one time payment thing for cheaper at the inn. And if we want to help the town as much as possible, and we stay here as long as possible, we can try to do everything. Like tomorrow, we could go to the mines and clear that out, and then while we're going towards that way, we might be able to ask for any information regarding the missing boy, and then hopefully we can, if the Naga attacks while we're near the town, we can try to help them defend, them that way. That'd be the best way, I think, to handle everything.
I'd say that's all a good plan. Ulrich looks around to see, is anyone really paying attention to them? Are they kind of alone?
I mean, there's people moving in and out of town. It's midday, more than midday at this point. So the town center, there's stands with people selling different foods and things like that, street vendors in the town center. You guys are closer to the statue of, it looks like, it looks like Gareth holding up what seems to be a giant gem.
Okay.
The gem is the only thing that is not in gold. The gem actually looks to be a crystal of some sort that catches the light every so often. It's a sunny day out. It's bright too, so.
But
warm.
if we wanted to talk about something a little more sensitive, does Ulrich get the sense that he could kind of
It's noisy enough. If you lower your voice, you probably wouldn't be overheard. But
okay,
you know that a public place is probably not the most discreet place. Somebody could always overhear you.
Yeah.
So it's your call.
Yeah, I think Ulrich would just kind of quietly say, and you all know a little bit about what Roger and I tend to do, what we're really employed for. So while we're here, I'd be mighty appreciative if you could keep your ears to the ground for anyone who may not be friends of ours.
Okay.
I thought all strangers were just friends that you hadn't met yet.
Well, that's true, but sometimes you need to
Friends,
make sure that they understand that they need to be your friend.
friends
Sometimes you need to
or
be a little convinced.
clients.
You ever heard the saying, you gotta let something go, and if it truly loves you, to come back. You gotta, if you kill your friends, if they truly love you, they'll come back.
I don't know about that little guy.
Jordan kind of kicks Zippo lightly on the heel. Your foot goes out in front of you, and no harm done. But like, it's just a thing he does to Zippo when Zippo starts talking too much.
Is this why Zippo can't go back to his people? It made too many movies and then wanted to test if they were really friends.
As much as I like telling stories, I'll let Zippo tell that story if he feels comfortable.
Another time.
Alright, well, alright, now, as I said, Sergeant's gonna be meeting us over at the Convergent Pints here in a little while, so I'm gonna head on over that way. If y'all want to join, but that's up to you.
Yeah. I'll go with you.
Yeah, we might as well join you, waiting for a guy to show up.
Is there anybody that does not want to go? Let's just put it that way. All right, so we all go to the Converging Pints. Pretty soon after that, Broden, I had to think of the name for a second there. Broden comes into the tavern, sees you. Since it's still fairly early, you were able to get one of the tables as opposed to the bar like the night before, where you only had one stool. So you get one of the corner booths that can seat all of you. He has to pull a chair over to get the seat on the outside.
Is it a corner table or a booth?
It's a corner booth.
Ooh. But we all fit in the booth part except for one?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is important for my mind cannon.
Yeah. Remember, we've got two small humanoids with us, so it's 4 people plus 2 kids, and then
Zippo's sitting on the edge with Brunhild sitting right next to him, just constantly petting him.
Nobody puts Yarvik in a corner.
Roger's probably most comfortable being in the corner.
So Broden has a seat and says, "How you guys doing? What do you think of Jewel?"
Truly is the jewel of our great kingdom.
It's an okay city.
He looks at you with great sarcasm and says, yeah, Jewel's great."
Yep. But that I think is going to bring us.
He kicks off some of the mud from his boots as he's sitting there.
That kind of brings us to I think while I want to hang out and socialize as much as the next guy, I think maybe we should just get down to brass tacks and discuss what it is maybe we can do to help you in your fair city.
So as you suspected, Broden does bring up the Naga attacks. He talks about, he says, we've been having some Naga attack the town quite frequently in the last few weeks. We've actually had to up the guard and do extra watches. There's actually less people at the toll bridge to the west because we had to bring in more guards to be at the town.
That's less people?
He looks at you kind of like, what do you mean?
I just felt like that was a fair amount of people when we were there. Unless you mean the one further west.
He says, we charge 5 gold pieces to cross that bridge. Bandits have been known to be attacking travelers along the area. If we don't have a good contingency out there, the King's Toll, which pays for the roads you travel and the bridges you cross, won't be of any use to us.
Yeah,
no, bandit pockets.
I get that. I didn't mean to criticize. I was just thinking out loud. I thought that was a fair amount of people when we passed through. In any event, what's your plan for these Naga?
Well, I've been kind of put in charge at the moment of the town guard. Captain's off requesting reinforcements from neighboring villages. Our lieutenant was killed in the last raid from the Naga, so I'm it. I'm the highest ranked person in the Jewel City Guard at this point.
Congratulations.
And that's why Lyridus is out at the toll bridge.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right. Well, so you're the highest ranked person. What's
What can we do to
what's your
help?
idea? What's your thought here? What's your plan? What can we do to help with the Naga?
Do you know where the Naga are coming from?
Also a good question.
They attack from all directions. That's why we're spread so thin. By the time we know where they're attacking from, they kind of pop out of the marsh. Our watchtower only does so much. They're, I guess, deeper into the marsh is where their homelands are, to the east. But ultimately, I would say, despite us being spread thin and us requesting reinforcements, once those reinforcements come, we should be as good as we can be in defending from the Naga. Hopefully they'll let off, or we'll be able to figure out why they're attacking, but they've just attacked. They haven't seemed to have any purpose for attacking. They kind of go to a point, cause damage to an area or attack people, and then when we meet them, we fight them off, and then they leave and disappear after being wounded. We haven't managed to even kill one. So they've got us on our toes, but we've been able to keep them out of town for the most part. It's one of the reasons why we've instilled a kind of a curfew for most of the people in town to keep them safe. People kind of self-imposed it. People aren't out late because they don't want to be attacked in the dead of night. No, what I would say is the thing that we most need help on is the mithril mines.
All right.
Because we're spread so thin, we can't see to. Well, actually, there's two things that are. You can take your pick which you want to deal with. The brat of the mayor's son's missing again. Matthias. You've probably seen some pictures of him around town. The mayor keeps pulling them down doesn't think that Matthias is actually gone. He disappears from time to time, and his mother, the mayor's wife, puts up missing posters every time that he turns up missing. And then, so if you want to deal with that, you be my guest. And then the Goblin Mines, which are directly under the Mithril Mines. They used to have a truce of some sort, but for whatever reason, the goblins have begun attacking the Mithril Brothers mines. We've sent. There's been a few adventurers that have gone that way, but not a group as large as you.
And did they come back?
Well, I haven't seen them, but you can talk to the Mithril Brothers about that.
Yeah, that's a no. All right, well. Tell me a little bit about the the boy Matthias. You said he goes off from time to time. Is this a case you think of an overly worried parent, or?
In my opinion, mothers. Their son doesn't come home for a night or two. They're gonna worry. Now, some say they've seen Matthias in town. I haven't personally seen him, but if somebody tells me he's in town somewhere, he ain't missing. In fact, that's why the mayor keeps ordering that we take the posters down anytime we see him. And he actually holds up one that he pulled from the bulletin board on his way in. But they keep getting put up for whatever reason. I think it's the wife, the mayor's wife.
Sounds like we're not going to get paid for that one.
Well,
hold on. Let's not be too hasty about that. It could be he's missing. How about we just keep an eye out for him, and if we see him, we talk some sense into him.
And he's like, well, and he hands you the flyer for the missing boy, and it's a drawing of him. It's basically a brief description of what he looks like. And
yeah, how old is he?
He's 12.
Oh, okay. See, that's more worrisome. Okay, yeah, I think when Ulrich takes a look, he goes, "Oh shit, he's a kid. I really just thought you meant like, I don't know, 17-year-old or something. This kid shouldn't be running around in the middle of the night. He could get killed by a Naga or something. That's actually worrisome. Why the hell doesn't the mayor care?"
Well, my son's 13 and he works in the Seregen mines up north.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't say that he couldn't work. I'm just saying he can't defend himself. Like, I understand that all children should start working at the ripe old age of 4, but I'm saying that most of them can't hold a sword quite that young yet.
I'm 6.
That's right. And you've been working for at least 3 years, I hope.
Sure.
Ulrich, you'll be incredibly disappointed to hear that my younger siblings didn't start working until they were over 100.
What the hell were they doing for a whole damn century?
Based off of my previous history with the mayor's son, he's one that has a knack for causing trouble and worrying his mother, but he's never not shown back up. I've got so many other things to worry about. I can't just keep chasing down this 12-year-old because he decides to wander off for a bit.
I gotta ask, because I mean, if he's just wandering off and giving his mom hell like this, sounds like a little shit. So I just gotta ask, how long has it been missing, and how long have the Naga attacks been happening?
He's been missing 3 days, and the Naga attacks have been happening for weeks.
Just making sure you didn't wander out there and piss off your Naga.
Yeah, it's a fair thought. If he did, he's been back since then.
But he could get taken by a Naga, based on what you're saying. So, if we keep an eye on him, pick him up by the scruff of his neck, take him back to his mother, maybe talk some sense into him, get him a good paying job.
He nods, like there's some worth to that. Like,
Meantime, I don't know, Mithril Bros? That what we all want to do?
Sounds fine to me.
I'm game.
It sounds like an adventure.
Now, I do wonder, because I think I've heard of Mithril. That's a
spelling.
metal. Alright, well, okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't spelled the same, and like the metal wasn't surely named after him.
No, it's just a regular mine. Their last name's Mithril. People have come to town thinking that we have Mithril here. We don't.
What kind of mine is the Mithril Brothers mine? What are they looking for? What is there?
Well, just like all the mines, they mine for gems and precious metals. But they could tell you more about that.
Interesting.
Well, speaking of gems, I wanted to give you this, and he hands over his gem for Cyrus. I said give you, I meant I want to give this so that you can take it to Cyrus. This is going to be a little helpful stipend of sorts for him. A gift.
He takes the gem, says, well, this will definitely help with supporting his recovery. I know the church will be expecting payment for restoring his limbs, and if he can't pay, then he might have to make a hard decision between one or the other. I'm sure he'll appreciate this. Thank you, Ulrich.
Yeah, well, hopefully it helps.
So you give him your emerald.
Yep. Yes, I do, voice in the sky.
Yarvik's gonna go slide that coin purse of 50 gold he got across from the jeweler for Cyrus. And take a slightly regretful puff off.
Okay.
Ooh, did we all get a share of gems? My internet cut out right around that part.
Yeah, we all have one emerald worth 50 gold pieces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Belzian also relinquishes a gem.
Zippo does as well.
Jordan does not, but he hands over a drawing, and it's of a woman.
Oh. Okay. Does it look like the deceased woman?
It looks like his sister.
Okay.
And he says, I wanted to give this to Cyrus, but if we're going to the mines, we might not get to see him before he wakes, should we not come back. This is his sister. Tell him I wish him well.
Wow, did you do that from memory, Jordan?
Yes, I worked on it the night after we saw her.
How good of a look did you get at her? That's amazing.
Zippo's gonna look at it, but she's got all her body parts here. She was missing some when we saw her. It's not accurate.
Well, sometimes art is about the thing you're representing when it was at its best, not as it is in reality.
Remind me, Zippo. Last time I drew you, how tall did you want me to make you?
That's not important. We didn't look at it.
And he just kind of like takes a satisfied sip of alcohol.
After that, Zippo's gonna look at Brunhild. I never asked him to draw me taller. Don't believe him. And
All right. So I think I'm gonna call it there for tonight. I'll basically you guys spend a few more drinking in the tavern with Broden and company, and you exchange stories about the town or your travels or whatnot. And what we'll do is we'll pick up next time, whether it be the rest of the day today before you go to the mines. Is there anything you guys wanted to do before you went to the mines, or did you want to go there right after this?
The only thing Zippo wanted to do was whenever it was just him and the rest of the party, he wanted to show him that map that he had. To see if he could decipher it.
We can do that now if you want.
We have
As we're all sitting there, Zippo's going to pull out a map and be like, I found this when I originally got my powers, and I'm going to lay it out, but I can't understand it. You're all going to see little scribbles on it that name different elements, and if you ask him, Zippo will say those are the different dragons that rule those areas.
So the map in itself isn't a map of the entirety of Seregen like you might have seen. It seems to be some sort of scrawled shape with an X at one point in the map. And then there's script written along the edges of the shape. It's kind of like a wavy little amoeba blob. And then there's a break in it. And then there's another wavy little amoeba blob. And there's an X on the left amoeba blob. And the lines basically are kind of, you know, the Marauders map, how there's like words all over it that kind of go along the shapes. It's kind of like that in a language that what languages do you guys have?
Giant and Orc.
Okay.
Let me get the list here because I've got a couple.
Zippo has Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Infernal.
Oh god, I can't find them. Oh, here we are. Common, Elvish, Sylvan, Undercommon, and Thieves' Cant, which isn't written down.
Did you say face cam?
Thieves' Cant.
Oh, Thieves' Cant. Got it.
Thieves can't what?
They won't tell you.
It's a secret. That's why you didn't write it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Elvin's got that elf, gnome, goblin, and halfling.
Okay.
And
So
common.
who said giant?
Me.
Okay. So some of the symbols look familiar, but you can't read any of the words.
Well, that looks kind of like giant to me, but it's it's nonsensical. Some of the symbols are giant script, though. I think. So, where'd you get this map now?
I found it in the cave that I found my ring at.
Found your ring in, yay. All right. Well, I mean, have you? I don't actually don't know if he knows enough about like I as a player know what's up with your ring because I know 5e backwards and forwards. Does Ulrich know?
No, Zippo's never explained anything about his ring.
Okay.
So everything he's saying about how he found it with his ring, you just assume he found a shiny ring with a map.
Yeah. Yep.
You also know that he can go into the ring and back out again, so you assume that it's magical, but that's about it.
Right. All right. Well. I can't make any heads or tails of this map beyond that, but hey, we know it's got something to do with giants, maybe.
Yeah, I guess in the next time we're in the city, I'll see if I can find somebody that might know something about it. Maybe a scholar of some sort.
Yeah, just show it to your magic friend, your magic friend.
I would not trust him. I would not trust him to even look at that map.
I mean,
I don't trust that man.
he might think it's real pretty, like he thought your ring was real pretty.
That's why I don't trust him.
Yeah, that's fair.
He also didn't even comment on Brunhild, which is the most beautiful thing ever.
It is a handsome dog, yeah.
A fine steed.
A magical creature.
Exactly. Yeah. Plot twist: we're gonna get into a fight. Brunhild's gonna transform into a black dragon, and we're all just gonna win, guaranteed.
I'm sorry, what? Transform into a. I mean, we'll see about that. I'm sorry. Did you, Belzine, did you say you speak Goblin?
Ah, yes. I studied many books about Goblin when I was a lad. As a joke, the scholars at the monastery would commonly call the children little goblins.
Yes. That's good. Well, that's gonna be handy when we go into the mines, I'd imagine.
Yes, perhaps we could work out some kind of peace deal or truce with these lovely, fascinating little people.
Yeah, about that. If they're not willing to cooperate, well, you're okay if it's not a peaceful resolution, I
It's
hope.
quite all right. I also speak the language of fist.
Very good. That's very good. That is one of my favorite languages as it happens.
I'm sure we can come to some kind of arrangement with these goblins.
Oh yeah? I hope so for their sakes.
Broden wishes you all good luck and says he needs to get back and check in, make sure everything's running right in the town. And he leaves. You probably follow not too long after to head east down the road toward the Mithril Brothers mines. And we'll end session there.
All right. Thank you very much.
Guys out there in chat, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, join the Discord. If you have any questions or comments for the group, they're also in the Discord or whatnot. But ultimately, hopefully we'll see you next session, which will be in 2 weeks from today, which will be the 1st of June. And we will see you there. Thanks, guys, and have a great night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks for playing.